Charles H. from Cardano just dropped a massive bombshell about Ethereum, basically how long it will sustain. And I'm a little bit shocked myself, but not really considering all of the epic mistakes Vitalik, Ethereum, and the foundation has been making. Let's go ahead and listen to this clip from Charles H. via Cardano, and then I'm going to drop some other pieces of news related to the Ethereum drama. Will Ethereum sustain? Will it go away? Let's hear from Charles.
So I don't think Ethereum will survive, more than 10 years to 15 years. The layer twos will continue to suckle out all of the alpha, and people will start fighting, and it'll get harder and harder for Vitalik to be able to hold it together through sheer force of will. And users will gradually migrate to other places, and then they're going to get eclipsed by Bitcoin DeFi. So brilliant project. It's just victim of its own success, like MySpace or any of these other things that have a lot of network effect and momentum. BlackBerry is another example. But people have fundamentally different paradigms that over the long term are intrinsically superior.
You heard it first. Ethereum is struggling, primarily as a layer one, because the Ethereum Foundation and Vitalik did not take the layer one seriously. They didn't take the ethos of Ethereum seriously. They've been focusing so much on layer twos that they haven't been actually maintaining Ethereum itself. And that's all people really wanted. And honestly, in my opinion, Ethereum has gone downhill since the merge from proof of work to proof of stake. Yes, layer twos are important, but at the same time, when layer twos were really being built out and when Ethereum was focusing on layer twos, we didn't have great layer ones like we do today. Hedera, Sui, Solana, you name it. Again, I hold Matic Polygon, but at the end of the day, I don't kind of have to use a layer two to do anything. I want to be able to use the initial layer. It makes things easy. And other people feel the same, especially the masses. And with the high cost of Ethereum, Vitalik has been floating around the idea for merging from EVM to, I believe it is RISC, to essentially help with scalability and gas costs at the initial layer one. Now, really some of the only things that are holding Ethereum together are going to be BlackRock and the idea that we can get staking to these ETFs. But if Ethereum does not fix its underlying problems, I agree with Charles. It's only going to last maybe 10 years if we are lucky. But crypto moves fast, so maybe even a lot less. I personally am going to be offloading all of my Ethereum this cycle. I'm not taking that risk. I'm not taking that chance. I mean, if we also take a look at Galaxy Digital, it was announced that they sold all their Ethereum and bought Solana. Per the block, Galaxy Digital swaps 106 million Ethereum for Solana as Ether dominance drops to recent low. Again, a lot of people are building on Solana. They're using Solana because it's easy to use. It's low gas fees. Yes, Solana is still kind of, has its issues with the network, but at the same time, they're a layer one that actually works, and they were able to sustain this meme coin cycle. Yes, I understand I'm talking about meme coins, but at the end of the day, there was a lot of activity happening on Solana. Also, made a mistake. Galaxy Digital did not sell all their Ethereum for Solana, just 106 million. But again, that's a lot. And on top of it, it looks like Sol Strategies is raising 500 million in convertible notes issuance to buy Solana tokens. So this is kind of a micro strategy way to do business. I don't know how well that might work considering that Solana has a different supply dynamics than Bitcoin. But at the same time, we're seeing all this building, all this action happening on Solana, not really Ethereum. My question is to you. Do you think if Vitalik makes these changes from EVM to RISC that it will sustain, or do you think it's going to go away like Charles said in 10 to 15 years? Comment below.